Welcome to the Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. If it is a question that is specific to one school, please note that in your question so they are alerted to it and can answer it. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So don't worry about what you look like. Just get comfortable and listen to these 6 great presentations over the next 45 minutes. This is just one of many different sessions happening. Check out and sign up for others at the place you signed up for this one. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. So you can find a recording there. The order in which we will present tonight, or the presenters will be going, I'm not presenting, I'm just making sure everything goes smoothly. It's in the bottom right corner here. You can see the little fake laser pointer I have. Those are the 6 schools that will be presenting tonight to you. So I've gotten all the housekeeping stuff out of the way, so now I will get out of the way and hand it over to the representative from Eastern Oregon University.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I am going to share my screen and get started. My name is Michelle. Oops, that's not the screen I wanted to share. I apologize. There we go. My name is Michelle, and I am an admissions counselor here at Eastern Oregon University. All right, so for those of you who may or may not have heard of us, Eastern Oregon University, we are located in La Grande, Oregon, which is in the Grand Ronde Valley, and we're actually surrounded by the Blue Mountains, so a little bit of geographical terms for you. And we actually get all 4 seasons a year, so if you're looking for a place with a little bit of snow, we're definitely a place to consider. And so for our Washington friends, we actually pay, you pay in-state tuition here at EOU. So home of the Mountaineers, actually our Washington, Idaho, and our Oregon friends all pay Oregon in-state tuition here. And so we'll keep cruising along. So these are some of our more popular majors. From agriculture, science, business is our most declared major. We actually started as an education college, and we're still going strong in the education field. Next year in 2021, we are bringing on a new bachelor's degree in special education. And while I'm touching on the education topic, we have a really great 10-month-long Master's in Art and Teaching that you can get right after your bachelor's degree, pop right into the MAT program here at EOU. A couple of the other ones, we have communications, not on here, computer science, and as of 2020, this year, we are starting a new Sustainable Rural Systems degree. These are some more fun facts about EOU as we keep cruising along. So we are Oregon's most affordable university. We're a pretty small school. So we have about 1,600 students on campus. Our class sizes are small. They're 25 students or less. And so you really get to know your professors and have a nice connection with them. They're really great resources to maybe write you a letter of recommendation going to the next step after school. And we also have a high acceptance rate getting into grad school, whether you're going into law school, medical school, anything like that. Some more fun facts. We do have a first year live on campus requirement here. And our residence halls are very nice. They're actually, you can get a single or a double, and they're a suite style. More things about EOU. We have over 50 clubs and organizations. We host over 400 events annually here. We are a part of the NAIA in athletics, which is equivalent to Division II. We're adding new teams. We just added a new women's lacrosse team this year, as well as men's baseball. And we're adding a new outdoor, actually it's an indoor track facility. And we also have intramural sports. A couple more things. So we have a really great outdoor adventure program. Since we are located amongst the mountains, a lot of the fun we create is outside. So we have free rentals for our students with anything you can think of for outdoor equipment. They also offer courses where you can learn new skills. We also have clubs with the outdoor adventure program within it, from a climbing club to a ski and snowboarding club. And these are some of EOU's admissions requirements. We are officially no test scores required. This goes for admissions and for for financial aid. You can apply at eou.edu. We have a $50 application fee. We'll ask you for your transcripts, and then you'll just get a decision. And a couple fun facts about our financial aid. It actually opened today on October 1. And this is the link to go find those scholarships. This is my contact information, and I will be having a Zoom right after this. So if you want to take a picture, if you want to chat me, if you want to come talk to me after this, feel free to drop it in the Q&A, and I'm happy to provide that to you. You can also send me an email if you have any other questions. I am the representative here at EOU who takes care of our friends in the Spokane area and in Washington. So thank you for listening, and I will stop sharing my screen.
Thank you very much. And I want to echo the message that if you have a question, use the Q&A button at any time during the session tonight, and make sure if it's specific for one school, you name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from Oregon State University.
Hello, thank you. My name is Jared Lars. I am the Regional Admissions Advisor for Washington from Oregon State University. I actually grew up around the Spokane area, so I'm very happy to be here today talking about all OSU has to offer. For those of you who do not know, we are located in Corvallis, Oregon, about an hour and a half south of Portland, straight down Interstate 5, then about 20 minutes out towards the coast, so we are a little bit removed from the freeway. We are that very traditional classic college town, 56,000 full-time residents, plus just under 33,000 students, making us Oregon's largest public university. Corvallis is consistently ranked as one of the safest, smartest, and greenest small cities in America. All around pretty amazing place, not just to be a student, but to live and spend 4+ years of your life, however long you want to, right there at OSU. Very school spirited, as you can tell behind me. Everyone is very into that Beaver spirit at OSU. As you're coming into town, you'll cross that bridge. All the downtown storefronts are filled with orange saying, "Go Beavs, welcome students." Very unique environment you don't find too many other places. Student life at OSU, like I said, we're the largest public university, so we have all the student life activities students are really looking for. Over 400 student clubs and organizations to get involved with, including student media, TV station, radio station, various print publications. We do have over 30 fraternities and sororities on campus, making up about 15% of our entire student population. Music and theater and the performing arts are open to all students, not just performing arts majors. We are a Pac-12 Division I school, 16 NCAA teams on campus. Those home sporting events are free for students. We've also got club sports and intramural sports open to everyone, both competitive and recreational. Student recreation center right there on campus, as well as some outdoor athletic fields. Really anything you're looking for in terms of student life, we can definitely provide that for you. Focusing in on our majors at OSU, we do have over 200 degree programs to choose from. I definitely don't have the time to cover all 200 tonight in 6 minutes. I really wish I could. If you use that QR code there on the bottom left of this slide, your iPhone camera should take you directly to the admissions webpage, where you can use the Find Your Major tool to search for specific keywords. You can browse by academic department. We also allow you to browse by general theme. So for example, if you're interested in health and wellness, we show you everything we offer related to healthcare and the medical area without knowing exactly what you're looking for. So just some more ways to browse what we offer as it relates to your interests. Just a couple special programs I do want to point out. The University Exploratory Studies program, that is our group of advisors and resources for undecided students, whether you have no idea what you want to study or you're bouncing between a few different ideas. You can definitely check in with them there. You can be undecided for about that first year and a half before we would ask you to declare a major. In the Honors College at OSU, it's just a smaller population of students within the university, highly academic environment. So a lot of in-class discussion, in-class participation. The classes are not harder, really just is more of that in-class discussion as opposed to that larger lecture and test format. If that's something that interests you, I'll be talking a little bit more about how to apply to them in the next couple slides. Admissions for first-year students, we are not a minimum GPA or SAT based institution, so no minimums for requirements. We're gonna look at everything you provide us in that application at one time. Things we're looking for can be broken down into a few categories. Academic history, obviously that's the strength of coursework you're doing. Any sort of advanced placement, running start, anything like those all look great to us. Grades, your grade trends over your whole high school career, as well as your cumulative GPA. College prep courses, that's a list of 15 we need you to pass prior to enrolling at OSU, essentially the same as the Washington State high school graduation requirements, so don't worry about those too much. We do have an essay component. This year we're asking students to respond to one of the 7 standard Common App essay prompts. There's also an additional personal statement and COVID statement, just a little bit more information to evaluate your application. Those are both optional. Test scores as well are optional this year, permanently for fall 2021 and beyond, for admission and scholarships. The Honors College, if that's something you're interested in, part of the same university application, just an additional essay component, and do know that they have a separate competitive review process. Scholarships and financial aid. Scholarships are going to be awarded based off a holistic review of that admissions application. So again, nothing extra you need to do, just apply for admission by February 1st to automatically be considered for those merit scholarships. Award amounts are going to vary from student to student. Scholar Dollars is our scholarship system for admitted and current students only, so you do need to be admitted before you can access those. Those are a variety of awards, typically through academic departments based off your major. You can apply for those every year as an OSU student beginning November 1st. And then the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, just send that to us by February 28th for priority consideration. It is open now for seniors, open today, so do it early, do it now, get it out of the way. The Western Undergraduate Exchange, or the WUI, very excited about this. This is new as well. We're going to be treating this as a holistic review competitive scholarship. So just like I mentioned, all those scholarships on the last slide, just apply for admission by February 1st to automatically be considered. There are no restrictions by major, no minimum GPA or test scores for consideration. So all Washington residents are automatically going to be considered. If you are not selected for the WUI scholarship, just know you will still be, of course, considered for those other merit scholarships. Stay in touch with us. We know that there's a lot of information. You're going to have questions. Beaver VIP is our handle on both Twitter and Instagram. You can also check out our website for some virtual connection options. We're offering daily guided virtual tours with our current student tour ambassadors, as well as student panels. You can set up a one-on-one meeting with your admissions advisor, or check out any of our academic department's virtual connection options as well. And that is my information. I'll leave that up for a few seconds. My email there on the bottom left. Feel free to save that. Reach out if you have any questions or need any help during the application process. That beav.es link will take you directly to my Zoom room where I will be after this main session. Of course, if you have any questions for me during the rest of this presentation, feel free to put those in the Q&A. I'll be off screen answering those. Thanks so much.
Jared, thank you very much. And again, you mentioned the Q&A, and I'll mention it again as well. Any questions you have, just use that Q&A button anytime you'd like to ask questions of any of our presenters. And if it's specific to one school, make sure you put that in your question. Up next, we'll hear from Portland State University.
Thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. I hope you have had a great day today, and thank you for ending it by meeting with us as well. We appreciate it. We're all really lucky. There's so many great schools in the Pacific Northwest. You're not going to pick a bad school, right? You just got to pick the school that's best for you. Portland State University. We are obviously part of the public university system here in Oregon. We have a little over 26,000 students, but the majority of those are pursuing their bachelor's degree, so they are considered an undergraduate student. We are proud to be the most diverse of all of the state universities in Oregon when it comes to the racial and ethnic makeup of our student body. And we also have a really nice size international population coming to Portland State as well. I think that's of particular interest for any of you who might be considering studying abroad when you go to university, which I strongly encourage you to explore the possibility of doing. Technically, that's what the international students are doing, right? They're studying abroad. So before you head off on your adventure, go talk to one of the international students. They might have some great insight about how they've prepared, how they wish they prepared, and if they're from the country you're going to, like what a great connection for you to make. We are a 50-acre campus. You're seeing some small snippets of what the campus looks like throughout the slideshow, but hopefully one day you'll be able to come in person. We are also offering virtual tours if you want to sign up for a virtual tour via our website. It's a pretty incredible place. I miss being on campus. For the students who live on campus, which by the way, we are not a university that requires students to live on campus, but it's not unusual for people from out of town to choose to live on campus. The on-campus housing at Portland State is pretty incredible, particularly for freshmen. They are apartment-style dorms, so there's no communal bathrooms. And you get such support when you live on campus. Statistically speaking, students who live on campus tend to have higher GPAs, tend to graduate at a higher rate. And to be a young person living in downtown Portland, I think would be incredible. That usually costs a gazillion dollars. So you have some pretty wonderful options if you choose to live on campus at Portland State. We have some wonderful cultural and resource centers. I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. Wonderful opportunities to get involved on campus through many of our student clubs, club sports, student groups. Some of the ones that stand out to me that I really love are student radio station, a classic thing to do when you go to college. We have a student-run movie theater, the West Coast only student-run movie theater. It's not just a classroom we call a movie theater, it's a genuine movie theater. It's free for students to see films. Student-run newspaper, there are faith-based clubs, there are clubs specific to particular career fields. There's a very active electric car club on campus that students have gone on to work for automobile manufacturers from that club itself. And we also have some great club teams. Some of them are more for fun, like bubble soccer and Quidditch. Some are more competitive, and they do travel, like lacrosse teams, rowing, water polo. And then we are Division I when it comes to our traditional college athletics. We play in the Big Sky Conference. These are some of the local employers that will probably be familiar to a lot of you. A lot of our students have an interest in working in the athletic apparel field since there are so many of those organizations based out of Oregon. Adidas and Nike and Columbia Sportswear are teaming with Portland State graduates. And look at that beautiful photo of downtown Portland. I've lived all over the country. Portland, 100% my favorite place to live. Still really active even during the pandemic. You know, opportunities to explore around town while still staying safe. These are some of those cultural and resource centers I've referenced a little bit earlier. If you have an affinity for one of these groups, I hope that you look to get involved as a student. Wonderful resources available to students, for example, through student legal services. If you do end up renting your own apartment, you can work with them if you want to have them look over your lease, things like that, to make sure everything looks set and you're getting a good deal. In the classroom, over 200 areas of study to choose from. Some of the more popular majors are business majors, biology, particularly for students who have an interest in pre-health, pre-med, pre-dentistry. Engineering are very popular majors as well. We are one of a handful of universities that has a direct working relationship with NASA. There's a whole room just in the engineering building for Skyping with the International Space Station, drop elevator to do experiments in simulated zero gravity. Some really exciting majors to choose from. But remember, we're just over 20,000 students. The average student to faculty in size is 20 to 1, with an average size class of 28. So you get the benefits of a big school and all the networking that come with that, because we have alumni all over the world. Still that small classroom environment, still that opportunity to work one-on-one with your professors because of that small student to ratio size. I referenced study abroad a little bit earlier, over 200 to choose from. They vary in terms of their focus, in terms of their length, but there's so many to choose from. I hope that's something you explore when you go to college or university. No matter what major you do, you're going to have an element of general education that will have to be completed. And at Portland State, you would do that of either one of two tracks, either university studies, which is a general education program that's brought Portland State a lot of acclaim. The exciting thing about university studies is your final year of college or university, you will go and do a hands-on capstone project. We do also have an honors college, but that is competitive to get into. Our freshman admissions requirements, a 3.0 cumulative GPA or above, and a C- or better in those college preparatory classes that you see there. We are a WUI school. If you are eligible for admission to Portland State University, then you will receive the WUI tuition rate as long as you submit your application on time. This is my contact information. If you would like to reach out to me, I hope that you'll do so. I know you can't cut and paste from this screen, so please give me a shout out in the Q&A if you'd like me to text this information to you. I will be available after in a Zoom room if you want to talk a little bit more. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Josephine. I'll leave this up for a second while I remind everyone yet again about asking questions. Again, use the Q&A at any time. Ask questions of our presenters. If it's for a specific school, name that school in your question so they know it is directed at them. Next up, now we will hear from the representative from Montana State University.
Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. My name's Max. I'm one of our admissions counselors here at Montana State in Bozeman. And I just want to give you a quick overview tonight of some important stuff we think you should know about us. So if you're not familiar with Bozeman or the university, we are in Southwest Montana, a couple hours drive, about 6 or so from the Spokane area right now. So not too far away, but definitely an out-of-state experience. Bozeman is definitely that kind of quintessential American college town experience. Lots of really cool stuff happening in town, whether it's cool local shops, concerts, guest speakers, film festivals, but lots of great stuff happening around us too. This picture kind of gives you a taste of what you can find around Bozeman, but the fact that we're surrounded by wilderness areas with skiing 20 minutes from campus and then Yellowstone National Park just over an hour away, if you're a student who likes the outdoors at all or wants to kind of get into that a little bit more, Bozeman can be a really, really good place to get into that. And again, give you that college town environment. Now, the university itself, we are one of Montana's flagship public universities. We are 16,249 students strong as of this fall, which does make us the largest university in the state, but comfortably a medium-sized university on a national stage. Now, one of the important things to point out, our freshman class, and in fact, most of the university campus itself, is split pretty much right down the middle, half in-state students, half out-of-state students. So I think it's important to know when you're a student coming from out of state that you're going to be in good company with other students sharing that experience. In fact, Washington is our #2 home state right now, right behind Montana. And we're big enough that we're giving you kind of all those great experiences from a larger university, things like Division I athletics, lots of clubs and activities, cool events on campus, but also being a campus that's small enough for you to feel connected to what's going on around you, whether it's in your residence hall or in these different clubs or in your academic experiences. Now, talking specifically about academics for a couple minutes, one big thing that I always point out for every major on campus, MSU is classified as a top-tier research school. There's only about 130 of those in the country, and we're one of them. And we're actually the only one in the region. So Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, and North and South Dakota. Now, what that means for all of our different majors, and there's about 250 you can choose from, whether you're looking at agriculture or arts and architecture or business, engineering, nursing, education, as a research university, our focus is on hands-on learning. And critically, that hands-on learning experience happens for students in their first year on campus. When I was here, I was a film and photo student, and they literally threw a camera at me on my first day of school and said, "Let's go to work, your first project's due in a week." My roommate freshman year was a cell bio and pre-med student who was working in cadaver labs freshman year. So if you're a student who really enjoys learning by doing and kind of thriving in that hands-on environment, this can be a really, really good fit for you. Even if you're not sure what you want to do yet, there can be lots of opportunities to explore these different academic options. Now, talking a little bit about the application process, we are designed as an access institution. We function on rolling admission, which means no deadlines by which you have to apply. There's no commitment date, so we never ask you to lock in by a certain day. And the application doesn't require supporting materials. So that means you don't have to write essays, get letters of recommendation submitted, or send us transcripts. And because of that, we can turn your applications around very quickly. We're talking usually about 2 to 3 weeks. As long as a student has a 2.5 or better cumulative GPA, weighted or unweighted, rank in the top half of the graduating class, a 22 on the ACT or an 1120 on the SAT, we can admit them to MSU. Now, our averages are quite a bit higher. GPA average is about a 3.6. Test scores are around a 25 and a 1230, but any one of those 4 gets you through the door. And if you're a senior watching right now for the fall of 2021, MSU, along with several other schools in Montana, made the decision to go test optional. So you don't need to submit those on the application when you go to apply. If you have them, great, but if you don't, they're not required. Now, related to that, scholarship opportunities. We do have a lot of different merit opportunities available for students, including things like the Western Undergraduate Exchange Scholarship Program, Achievement Awards, which can award up to $15,000 a year renewable. These are all sort of programs we have, and they generally operate on a rolling basis. Now, we're specifically adjusting our scholarship requirements for the fall of 2021 because so many of them previously required ACT or SAT scores. That's probably not going to be a thing this fall as far as the specifics go. So we plan on having that info out for students in the next couple of weeks here, probably the next week or two, actually. You can visit our scholarship website there at the bottom right to learn more. At this point, about 70% of the students who attend MSU have some sort of scholarship available to them as they go forward. So know that that cost of attendance can be brought down significantly, whether it's merit-based programs through MSU or outside scholarships or something through FAFSA, right? The free application for federal student aid. Not required, but another option students can look at. And some final thoughts as you look at this, you know, these sessions about the universities that we're looking at, these are great opportunities for you, but we know that nothing really beats getting your feet on the ground on campus and exploring it and seeing if it's a good fit for you. We are actually able to offer a limited number of in-person visits right now. We need about 2 weeks of notice and we have limited space available each day. But if you're interested, you can go to our visit website there. We also have some weekend programs available on Saturdays throughout the fall. And of course, virtual options on our website. And just like everybody else, if you have questions moving forward throughout the rest of the evening or later, you can email me. You can also scan that QR code or type in that link at the bottom right to get into my personal visit room after this presentation if you have questions or you want to talk about stuff in more detail later. So thanks for letting me take a little bit of time. Feel free to ask any questions in chat. I'm happy to help you out. And otherwise, have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you, Max. And we will continue again with the Q&A is active and lots of questions coming in. If you have them, please use that button to ask a question of any of our presenters tonight. Up next, University of Montana Western.
Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Allen. I'm the Director of Admissions at the University of Montana Western. We are a smaller public institution and about an hour and a half away from Bozeman, Southwest. So total enrollment's around 1,300 students. Dillon itself is set in more of a rural setting. Dillon itself is only about 5,000 people. To kind of see where we're located, you can take a look at the map that I'm going to bring up. So you can see a map of Montana there. So Dillon, like I say, is in the southwest corner of Montana. So if you're into the outdoors at all, you're absolutely going to love coming to school at Montana Western. We are literally minutes from hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, skiing, snowboarding. There's 3 blue ribbon trout streams that are less than 20 minutes from campus, 3 hot springs that are close to campus. So endless outdoor opportunities, but we are a 4-year public institution. So we have many opportunities that range from clubs, intramural sports, club sports, NAIA athletics. So a lot of opportunities on campus as well. The big thing, and list of our academic programs, you can see that we do have quite a few programs for the size of campus that we are. Most popular on campus are education. We are Montana's very first education school. So secondary education, elementary education, early childhood education. We have an early childhood education degree that's specific in pre-K through 3rd grade. That is our most popular. We also do have a lot of business students. So you can see from our business major there that we have some pretty unique options that you can pick up with that degree that range from health and fitness management, equine management, farm and ranch operations, and we even have a management or an outdoor guide and wildlife outfitters minor if you're looking to work in the guide industry or have your own guide business. So environmental sciences and biology, we do a great job of prepping students for med school and vet school. Environmental science majors are really sought after because they get a ton of field experience here at Montana Western. But we also have some pretty unique majors. We have the only 4-year accredited program in natural horsemanship in the country. We have a glass program. You can specialize in scientific or artistic glass. So a lot of different programs that you can definitely choose from. The most unique thing about Montana Western is how we teach our courses. We are the only public school in the country that operates on a block scheduling model that we call Experience One or X1. And how it works is instead of a normal semester-based system where you take multiple classes all together at the same time, what we do is we break our semesters into 4 3.5-week blocks. And then what students do for 3.5 weeks is they take one course at a time. So all they have to do is focus on one subject. They have homework in one area. They have one professor to communicate with. And why we do this is we want to focus on experiential education. We do not want your experience as a college student to be, I sat in a classroom and I heard and I read about what I was going to be doing. So instead, we want you learning by experiencing things starting your freshman and sophomore year with a goal of that by the time that you graduate, you have 2 to 3 years of experience already in your field of study. So whether it's a job, whether it's grad school, you're going to have more experience that you can use to get that position and show that you're better suited for that. Each one of our classes is worth 4 academic credits. So just because you come to Montana Western, that does not mean that you have to go to class or go to school longer than in a traditional format. You're averaging 16 credits for the semester, 32 credits for the academic year. And as you can see, versus a traditional model where you're juggling multiple courses all together at the same time, having less time in class, you can kind of see how that compares. Another really great thing about the block program is the simplicity. Students at Montana Western never have to go home at night going, oh, I got to do my math homework. I got to do my history homework. Waking up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night going, I completely forgot I have an English chapter I was supposed to read for tomorrow, because all they have is homework in one area. 100% of their attention can go towards that. They're learning from one professor at a time. They're not learning all different types of teaching strategies, or this professor likes APA citation, this professor likes MLA citation. All you have to do is communicate with one professor. Our professors also teach one class at a time. So if you have a question after class, your professor is not going to blow you off because they have to go teach another class in 15 minutes. Your class is the only class that they're focused on. Our average class size is 15 students, and we cap our courses at 25. So you're not going to be in a lecture hall with 50 plus students at Montana Western. The other nice thing is we don't have finals week. That last week of the semester, you're not going to have 5 tests and 3 presentations all due at the same time. You take your finals one at a time, just like you do with your courses. Cost of attendance is another really big advantage at Montana Western. We are the most affordable 4-year school in Montana. We take pride in that. We want to remain that. On the screen, you can see our cost of attendance for this current academic year. Coming from out of state, we're going to first classify you as a non-resident, and out of state tuition for the year is a little under $16,000. The nice thing is that we also do participate in the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program. We automatically award the WUI scholarship to any student who has a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher. So it's not if I get the WUI, if you have that GPA, you will get the WUI scholarship at Montana Western, and you'll pay 150% of in-state tuition. That's going to drop your tuition below $6,800 for the year. So you're paying under $7,000 for your yearly tuition as a student at Montana Western. The other nice thing is as long as you maintain a 2.7 GPA at Montana Western, you can maintain that scholarship up to 12 semesters, up to 6 years. Another unique thing about our WUI program at Montana Western is we allow you to stack scholarships. So if you get an additional $2,000 academic scholarship or a $1,000 athletic scholarship, we're going to stack that on top of WUI, bring that cost down even farther. So we do have additional scholarships, and we do the FAFSA program. This is my contact information. So of course, if you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me directly. And my Zoom link for the my session after this for Q&A is also on the screen there. Thank you so much.
Matt, thank you. And we have one presentation left in this session, and that will be the University of Wyoming. Again, if anyone has questions, use the Q&A button to ask them of any of our presenters.
Hi everyone, my name is Adrienne Loveland and I am with the University of Wyoming, and I am thrilled to talk to you about UW. So a little bit about Wyoming. We are located in Laramie, Wyoming, which is in the southeast corner of the state. If you were to leave Denver International Airport, it would be a 2.5-hour drive. We're about 50 minutes north of Fort Collins and about 45 minutes west of Cheyenne, Wyoming. We are home to a little over 12,000 students that come from all 50 states and over 90 countries. We are 50% in-state and 50% out-of-state. So for a little more rural environment, we treasure these students. We also have about a 15-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you are going to get to know your professors when you come to UW. 90% of these classes are taught by professors instead of graduate students or teaching assistants. Our average class size is about 30. We do have some classes that are bigger because this is an average, but the biggest class you'll ever have at UW, if you get this class, is 165 students. That's the biggest seating area we have. And one of those is the football film room. So you're never gonna have a class there. So this leaves 2 classes for 165 students, over 12,000 students. And something we're really proud of is not only are you gonna get a great education at UW, but industry is really looking for our students. 92% of our students had jobs or were in grad school 6 months within graduation last year. We are surrounded by 2 mountain ranges, so there is a plethora of outdoor activities for any outdoor enthusiast. About 15 minutes to the east, you can be in Beatavoo and be doing world-class rock climbing or mountain biking. 30 minutes to the west with red lights, you can be skiing, whitewater rafting, fishing, hiking, you name it, it's there for you. We also are a Division I school. We are in the Mountain West Conference. Fun fact, we have the most active NFL players in the Mountain West Conference, including our starting quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. We do offer club sports, intramural sports, of course, over 300 different clubs and organizations. We have a fantastic Greek system, and we have a really great student government. At UW, we are able to have our students and the student government work with our board of trustees, senators, and legislators. And one of the things that really makes Wyoming stand out is we are the only 4-year public institution in the state. So there is an immense amount of love and loyalty and pride for this institution. It is not uncommon for somebody to drive 9 hours for a football game or start tailgating on a Tuesday. We love UW, and it's great to have people join this family and this community. We offer over 200 different areas of study, everything from accounting to zoology, big programs at Wyoming. We are a Tier 1 research institution for engineering due to our new $150 million building. This puts us up with big name schools like MIT and UC Berkeley. We are ranked number 6 in the country for our College of Education due to being one of the last 3% of schools in the country that offer a lab school. So we have kids kindergarten through 8th grade going to school at the University of Wyoming that you will start working with. Also, we've been ranked by the AACSB as one of the top 13% of schools of business. We offer all different facets, and we do have a Nobel Peace Prize winner on our staff who will teach your freshmen micro and macroeconomics. Environmental and natural resources is another big program with us. If you're interested in renewability, sustainability, or conservation, this is your degree. As well as nursing and pharmacy, we offer direct entry nursing programs for both of those. As far as admissions is concerned, what we're looking for is this high school success curriculum, which is 4 years of math, science, and English, 4 years of electives, hoping to see a foreign language in there, and 3 years of social science. In addition to that, we'd like you to have a 3.0 unweighted GPA. We are test optional for admission, but we do need test scores for scholarships. So if you meet this high school success curriculum along with that GPA, congratulations, welcome to Wyoming. We are on a rolling admissions basis, so we're continuously accepting applications. Except for nursing and pharmacy, we do need your application by December 1st. We take the Common App or our own regular application. It's a $40 application fee, and your transcripts and your test scores, when you can get those, for scholarship review. And speaking of scholarships, what we'll do is we're going to take your unweighted GPA, best ACT or SAT score, and where those two numbers coincide on this graph, we're going to guarantee you $2,000, $4,000, or $7,000 in Brown and Gold commitment. Or if you fall in that top gold area, that is how you would receive WUI with us. These are good for 4 years, but you do need to maintain a 3.0 GPA while you're with us. We are accepting visits and we're welcoming people to our campus. We'd love to have you experience Laramie and the University of Wyoming. So please let us know if that's of something of interest to you. This is me and my contact information as well as my Zoom link for a meeting afterwards. So I would love to meet with you and love to visit with you more about Wyoming. Go Pokes!
Adrian, thank you very much. And I want to thank everyone for joining us for this session. Some of the presenters are finishing up the Q&A in the Q&A chat area. So as they do that, I'm going to again thank you for joining us and remind you that when you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, just one of many sessions being hosted. Be sure to sign up for additional sessions where you signed up for this one. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings, again, at the same website that you signed up for this one. Once again, want to give an opportunity for the presenters to answer some questions in the Q&A that are still there. Otherwise, we will end the session here in a couple minutes. But again, thank you for joining us this evening. And I know that you have individual breakout sessions later, and those were shared through the presentations. If you missed those, the representatives can drop those into the Q&A as well, if you have that question.
I see there is a question asking, are the Zooms after this going to be a slideshow or just us popping in to ask questions? And I think it's mostly going to be just us live, happy to answer questions in person. I don't think it would be more slideshows. It would be an opportunity to get some sort of more one-on-one questions answered from any of the schools.
Excellent. Josephine, thank you for answering that. I think that handles all of the questions. So I'm going to end the session here in about 20 seconds. Again, thank you to everyone for attending tonight and to the presenters for presenting all of the great info. Have a great evening.